Hello friends, welcome back today. I am so happy you guys are joining me today because we are jumping into fall and I'm so excited. I've been ready for fall for weeks and I've been holding back and holding back. But today I thought, you know what? We're a week away from September and we got to get our starter pack together. We have to get our fall emergency kit together. So today that's what we're doing. We are putting together our fall kit, our starter pack, our emergency kit, whatever you want to call it, because we're a week away and it's time to get ready. So I figured we would just go over some basic essentials of starting the fall season, what we will maybe like, what we want, what will really spark that fall spirit in us. And I kind of put together a little basket of things right here. Again, this is just a starter pack. Next week we'll be diving into all the kitchen needs, all of the apartment needs, all of the home needs, all of our heart needs, and much, much more. But today is just the starter pack. Today is just to dip our toe in, so next week we can dive in. So I figured I would just go through my basket of goodies, talk about each thing, talk about why I think they're essential for fall, and I would love to hear what your essentials are, what's in your starter pack, what you've already pulled out, knowing that you're going to need it for that start, that September 1st start date. And yeah, so today, let's go ahead and just enjoy some fall cozy things. I'm actually really excited today because it's been really hot this week here in Germany, but today we had a nice little quick rainstorm and thunder and lightning, and I was like, okay, the world is telling me I can start my fall journey. So let's go ahead and jump in. I figured we'd start with decor. I love decoration in the apartment. It just brings out the fall atmosphere. It almost smells like fall without having to actually smell like fall. So I love getting little pumpkins from our, dollar store. I'm going to be trying to make pumpkins this year with crocheting, but I figured I'd grab some pumpkins this year. I have a lot from last year as well, but these I thought were really cute because they have kind of a felt texture. And yeah, so I have a couple little pumpkins. Oh, it's buried underneath here, so I'll pull out the other one later. But I have one in green, one in cream, and one in orange, and I just think they're absolutely adorable. Another essential for fall for me are my baking spices. So I do a pumpkin spice homemade mix. So instead of buying the store-bought stuff, I do a mix all at home so that way I can get the right spices I like. I really like it when it's gingery and clovey, so I add a little bit more of that into my spice mix, my pumpkin pie spice mix. It's not only used for pumpkin pie. I use this stuff for my banana bread, my apple pie, my cookies, my brown butter cookies. Oof, those are fantastic during the fall season. But this is my go-to spice mix for anything fall flavored. I even put this in my overnight oats. I've put it in my coffee. This is just absolutely delightful. We also have, speaking of coffee, we need ourselves a cute little mug. So I actually just got this the other day and I fell in love with it. It's just a cute little mushroom mug, and the top comes off, of course, and then we have just the bottom of the mushroom and then the top of the mushroom. I honestly don't know how often I'll have the top of the mushroom on there, but I think this thing is just absolutely adorable. So my coffee cup for this year, I get one coffee cup a year to celebrate fall. I know that sounds like a lot of coffee cups, but I think it's just so much fun to get a coffee cup or a teacup that's just going to launch you into the season. And this is just screaming fall, autumnal, just everything brown leaves to me. So I got myself a cute little cup. We also have our candles. So these are my candles from last year, but they're actually quite big, so they last a really long time. These are from DW Home, and I fell in love with the pumpkin toffee candle. This is my go-to smell if I'm wanting to feel cozy or homey or fall-y or anything. This is my go-to candle. However, I have another one that's a little bit sweeter. It's maple pumpkin spice, and I really like this one too. And this one just makes me feel like I've just made cookies, which is kind of difficult because then I crave cookies, but these are just so delightful, and I love the fact that they represent these fall smells to me. So I come in, I see the cute little pumpkin decor, and I think, oh, fall is here. And then I walk in and I light myself a candle and I think, it smells like fall. And then I have to go make myself a coffee because we all need a good cup of tea or coffee in the morning. And then I think to myself, well, now it smells so delicious, I gotta bake myself some cookies. So that's kind of how my morning falls go. My daily morning fall, my fall morning daily, my daily fall routine. There we go. We also have ourselves a cozy blanket, of course, but I'm gonna pull that out in a second. We have some wonderful movies. So these are some movies I actually bought last year. We watched Practical Magic because that's one of my favorite movies. I watched it so many times when I was a kid, and every time I think of coconut and lime, that song pops into my head and I see that scene in my head. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And then last year we watched Beautiful Creatures as well, and I love Beastly. It's one of my favorite movies. I haven't watched The Witches of Eastwick, so we're going to watch that this fall, and I'm so excited. I always have my go-to fall movies. I have a ton online as well on Netflix or on Disney or on Prime. And then I have a ton of shows as well that I watch, but we'll talk about that next week. We'll go into each one of them, talking about the feelings they create, the atmosphere they create. Some of them are scary, some of them are very cozy. With that being said, also, I have a group of books I always like to have with me. This fall, I'm deciding to go super witchy. I even got myself a dress that makes me look like a bat, and I'm gonna show that off next week. That will be a next week surprise, but I'm really excited to show it off. But I know bats and witches are different, but I figured it's also witchy. So I have a bunch of autumnal cozy books, but I also have those kind of creepy, kind of crawly books that I enjoy reading. This one's been one of my favorites, actually, the Virgo Book of Witches. This is a collection of different stories from around the world, of different witch stories, and I've really enjoyed reading this. I've read a couple stories here and there. It's a great book to take on the train when I'm just wanting to read a short story. And it teaches you so much. There was one that took place in Ireland, an Irish witch story that was so sweet and so delightful, and it really kind of creates this wonderful atmosphere even though they're just short little stories. So if you're looking for more witchy stories and actual true stories, so stories that come from legends and different countries, this is definitely a very delightful read. I also have Dracula. I haven't read Dracula yet, and I'm so excited to read it because I actually got this for my birthday, and I've been wanting to read it in October, so that's my October read this year. But this is just a classic. It's one of the ones that everybody hears about during Halloween, and it's gonna be perfect for this fall, and just cozy up on the sofa with my nice fuzzy blanket, my lovely cup of tea or coffee, a candle lit, some cookies, and some decorations. So I'm really excited to read Dracula this year. I also have Nettle and Bone and a ton of other books. Next week, I figured I would go into more detail of all of the fall, autumnal, creepy, cozy, crawly books that I love during the season, but I figured I would pull out a few to put in my emergency basket starter kit for fall. We have another pumpkin. So we never have enough decoration, at least that's how I feel. So I'm always finding more pumpkins. Like I said, we have our blanket, our big fuzzy cozy blanket for fall reads, fall TV, fall everything. Even one of my favorite things to do in the morning is when I'm having my first cup of coffee in the morning and it's cold and rainy outside and a little bit of fog sometimes. I sit on the balcony and I soak in all of that cold. You know that cold that gets kind of in your bones underneath your skin? I love that feeling. It's one of those feelings from my childhood that it's just never gone away, where I'm just a little bit cold, a little bit shivery, and then I have a blanket to cozy up with. So this is my cozy up with blanket. And last but not least, I love Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is my favorite place to go for all autumnal sweets and treats and food. I know they have like a pumpkin squash. They had a pumpkin squash pizza. I don't know if they still do, but that was one of my favorite places of going when I lived in the US. And I miss it so much. I miss it so much that I have friends and family ship stuff to me from the US, from Trader Joe's, just so I can enjoy some great treats. And one of them is this pecan pumpkin oat mix. I ate this so often. I would buy a box and put it in my office and just eat it for breakfast because it's just so good. So this is another part of my starter kit or emergency kit, whatever you want to call it. And it's just so grand. This stuff is so delicious. I'm actually going back to the US. I'm going back to Washington in the fall this year, in October for a wedding. And we're gonna stay there for a little while to kind of vacation around and visit Washington during my favorite season. And I'm so excited to go to Trader Joe's, to go to Joann's to look at all the crafty things, to smell candles in Target, and just have a really grand time. If you have any recommendations or things that you were like, Melissa, you've missed out on this in the last 4 years, go ahead and write it in the comments below. I would love to hear about all of the fall things I need to check out. Also, if you're in one of those areas that's not moving into fall but moving into spring, I hope you're also enjoying the lovely transition into the wonderful spring flowers, spring weather. I know it's not all about fall, but in my heart, I'm ready for fall. So I'm sorry, it's a fall video, but here in Germany, we have Zwiebelkuchen, so onion cake that's in the bakery, meaning Germany is ready for fall. Our trees outside our apartment are starting to turn kind of this like light green color and turning into the yellows. So fall is coming and I'm just so excited. I can't hold back my excitement anymore. And that's why we have our fall starter kit today. And next week, I want to dive deep into all of the wonderful things, all of the movies and books I recommend. We can also take a little trip into town and see if we can find more decorations because, like I said, you can never have too many decorations. And just really enjoy the start of this season because this season is going to be full of baking delicious things. I'm going to be making my famous and delicious apple pie. I love apple pie. And don't worry, we'll be making pumpkin pie as well. And we'll be making brown butter cookies. We'll be making all the delicious fall goodies. If there's something you want to bake as well, let me know in the comments below. I would love to add it to my baking list. And with all of that, you guys, I really appreciate you being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a quick one. It was just an introduction into fall. But because we still have technically a week, I just wanted to do a little jump. Like I said, dip my toe into fall, dip your toe into fall. And next week, we'll dive deep into all of the books, all the decorations, all the movies, TV shows, all of the wonderful things that we have coming this year. So until next time, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, a lovely end of your week, and I'll see you guys next week. Ciao!